Hello. I'm Chelsey.
And I'm Sammy. And this is Deepish. What up, guys?
Yo.
We are doing Nostalgia Part 2 today. We are going to get into all the weeds of middle school, junior high. It's going to be a little traumatic. It's going to be a little nostalgic. All of the things.
Oh, it's so good. When we were just getting ready for this episode, we were just wearing like normal clothes and we were like, should we tease our hair and do the poof?
Mm-hmm.
The 7th grade poof. We're just in your bathroom teasing our hair.
I felt for just a split second getting ready together and all the things. I'm like, wait, are we in junior high?
I know, it's just so fun. And we're just blasting the junior high playlist, taking the MySpace selfies.
Got on my photo booth on my laptop. Photo booth still exists, guys. It's so funny because the nostalgia episode, who doesn't love talking about their childhood?
That episode was so
It was
fun.
so fun. And so many people messaged me and texted me and were like, oh my gosh, I love listening to that. You guys forgot this. You forgot this. And I can't believe you didn't mention this. It really did bring up a lot of memories for people. But then junior high, you know me, I have a playlist for everything. And so I have like a junior high school playlist. And me and Hayden were just jamming out to it the other day. And I was like, we have to do it with junior high.
And here's the thing, you have such an epic memory. And so I feel like you have things cataloged.
But just preparing for this episode, I started rewatching Pen 15. If you guys haven't watched Pen 15, you have to, because it is so good. It's so relatable to our childhood and junior high experience.
Just the fact that they're the writers on it, that was probably the funnest thing. It's her and her best friend.
I know, and they just pretend that they're 7th graders and just everything, like their first kisses, all of the feelings that they feel are so real. So if you guys are looking for a throwback nostalgia show to watch, you have to watch it. It's so good. It's on Hulu. But anyways, so just preparing for this the last 3 days, just deep down memory lane, which is so fun because I just love this crap.
Yeah.
So I want to get into it and just really dive deep into all of the things.
Yes.
So let's start with 7th grade. Do you remember your first day of 7th grade?
No. The only thing I really remember about 7th grade is, I guess, my locker and then writing notes.
Mm-hmm.
Notes where we could have a whole segment on notes.
Oh, yeah.
And then outfits I would wear.
No, I remember vividly my first day of 7th grade. I was so excited for lockers. Also, there's this home video that I was watching the other day of me and my sister. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be a Sevy. Like, do you remember like calling us Sevies?
Sevies. Oh.
And they have 7th grade day where you go and you get to explore the school. But then it's stressful because you have to figure out your classes and all your different periods. So I switched junior highs in 8th and 9th grade. But 7th grade, I went to a junior high where they had big tall lockers, so you had a locker partner. So I remember figuring out who my locker partner was going to be was so exciting. Like, I can't wait to see who I meet and all these new people. And getting locker accessories
was the coolest thing ever. Just that mirror and that pencil holder and the magnets,
a little whiteboard. I had a locker partner. Her name, I don't even remember, it was like Myra or something. And I met her like twice, and then she moved out of my locker, and so then my best friend moved into my locker with me. But we would keep Love Spell and all of the Victoria's Secret sprays in there and just douse ourselves.
Oh, if you're not freaking drenched, dripping.
Yeah.
In those freaking body sprays.
Oh, yeah. And we were spraying down the hall, and I remember just thinking it smelled so good.
It's embarrassing.
While we're talking about perfumes, these are the it perfumes. I'm just going to tell you. I had this one from Hollister, Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue.
The shiz. And wasn't Paris Hilton?
I never wore Paris Hilton, but there was a few different perfumes.
No, but do you know the one that was like pink with the black stripes on it?
Maybe that was a Victoria's Secret one.
No. I'll show you the bottle.
But I feel like that was such a, at least at my school, this was more 8th and 9th grade. It was like designer jeans and really nice perfume. Like, my mom was taking me to Nordstrom to buy $150 perfume.
Oh, perfume was a thing.
And guys thought it was so hot. Like, oh my gosh, she's wearing Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue.
But guys too, they had their scents.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Fierce.
Aqua di Gio.
Yeah, but that was like high school for me. Aqua di Gio. Fierce. If they just smelled like Abercrombie.
Oh yeah. But or it was just the worst when guys would like either they put it on or they spill it or they play a prank with the freaking Axe body spray, and then the whole hall smell like body spray.
Oh, so bad.
Freaking Axe. Anyways, so yes, 7th grade. I remember that, and then I think obviously 7th grade is a hard adjustment, but you're like, okay, boys, different classes, lockers, I remember we had the 7th grade dance, and that was super exciting. And
oh yeah, the dances. I feel like 7th grade, you're still kind of in between the elementary and junior high. 8th grade, you lock into junior high.
Yeah.
But 7th grade, you're still a little awkward. You're weird. You're just starting to get braces.
Yep.
You're not really kissing boys yet.
But the fashion in 7th grade was Aeropostale, polos,
Gauchos.
double polos, double tanks.
The double polo. It was like 2 different color polos, collar popped. Gauchos.
Mod B.
Mod B for days.
Sequin shawl.
And then sequin belts to match.
Oh, the sequin belt. And
then it was like the
sequin
class.
bag.
The sequin bag with the belt. With clasp. The 3 clasp.
Yes. Or like the turn clasp thing. Yes.
Sequin bag.
And then it was straight hair with the poof. The curly, diffused, crispy, crunchy hair.
Where you would get literal mousse in your hand. Just a mountain of mousse. Hair's wet. Just
Yep.
so you're just walking, you hit the locker and it's like
Yeah. Yeah. So crispy. And then the zip up hoodies or coats with the fur hood.
but the bottom has to be cinched. Like the cinched by your hips and then just
Yep.
like so tight and then a huge hood.
Yep.
Furry hood.
Yeah. What other memorable things you have from your 7th grade year? Do you remember anything?
I will say it is an age where you start really feeling left out too.
Yeah.
Where you kind of have your elementary squad and then 7th grade's really rediscovering who are your real friends.
Yeah.
People are testing the waters. If someone's a little more popular than you, they're going to jump ship.
Yep.
Lots of feelings hurt in 7th grade, I feel like.
Yeah. 7th grade is a hard transition for sure. 8th and 9th grade were way better years for me.
Like, okay, these are my people. This is who I'm going to hang out with on the weekends. With 7th grade, it's like, oh, there's new people. So you're trying to find that.
Yeah.
Was there a house you hung out with? Who had the house?
Oh my gosh, me and this girl, we were friends in 7th grade, and she had a whole basement. It was like a Coca-Cola themed basement.
Cool.
And so they had like a soda gun thing,
Oh my gosh,
and
that's
like
so
everything
legit.
was Coca-Cola themed. So we threw this big party. I'm like, yeah, you have the coolest basement. Like, let's throw a party. Nobody showed up. So we just sat in her room looking out the window, like waiting for people to show up, and nobody ever showed up.
That is really sad.
It really just humbled us though. But looking back at that, I'm like, that's so classic. I don't even remember who we even invited, because I definitely wasn't talking to boys in 7th grade.
Yeah, no, boys were not. Definitely had crushes.
For sure.
On the 8th grade boys, for me at least. It was
Yeah.
like, oh, they're so cute. And then you would write notes. Notes were such a thing because no one had phones.
Yeah.
Or when did you get your first cell phone?
When I was 14, so like 8th grade.
Yeah, 7th grade, it was like pre that. I actually had a cell phone. Me and my older siblings all shared it, but they got it more.
Yeah.
And then I got it like once a month or something. And I was like, it was a ghetto, duct taped antenna, the whole thing.
Yeah.
But you would just sit in class, and then the cooler you folded the note, the better the note was.
Oh, where it's like pull here.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was literally like fold, 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 tuck.
Oh, and then you pull it open, and then it opens up. Two of my best friends in 8th grade, we had a full-on notebook that we'd pass back and forth in between classes, and that was so fun because like, okay, it's your turn to write, and then it was a full-on notebook, so you could just close the notebook and hand it. But then I remember guys would always steal it and try and read what we'd say.
Yes, but these notes were so I still have so many of them. My mom kept so many notes, and I open them and it's like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Or it'd be like, who's your top 5?
Yeah. Or like, what are we gonna do tonight? I'm so excited for you to come home with me on the bus.
On the bus. What do kids do now? Like, what do your nieces do? Do they write notes or do they text?
I don't know. I should ask them.
Like, are notes still a thing?
I hope so. I think so. They have to be,
I
right?
hope.
Like passing notes is so fun because then you're just bored in class writing a note to your friend.
And or you're just texting under the desk.
Yeah.
Because I feel like everyone gets cell phones in 5th grade.
7th grade, I remember having an iPod Shuffle. And that was the best discovery. My
With the
friend
shuffle,
had-
the teeny one.
It wasn't even the square. It was when it was long and white. And it was a jump drive. You'd plug into your computer, upload music on it, and then you would just press play and you could press next, but you could never choose what song it was.
Yes. Oh,
So it was
my
iPod
gosh.
Shuffle. That was the first discovery. I was like, holy crap, this is so cool. It plays all your songs. And then I remember in 8th grade, I got the purple iPod Nano.
You're so cool.
But then 9th grade was the iPod Video. I never got one of those, but my friend had one, and you could watch music videos.
Oh, the big black one.
Yeah, with the big screen. But I remember 7th grade too. people started having the Razor cell phones, like the hot pink Razor cell phone.
Yeah.
And I remember it being like, oh my gosh, that is so cool.
That
like,
was the
three
it
or four
phone.
people at my school had Razors. And then it was like the chocolate and the Sidekick and all of the cool things.
Do you remember that mini phone? The mini one that was like this big and you could flip it open and it was tiny.
This is kind of unlocking a memory for me.
And it was just like, hello? And it was tiny.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So what was your first cell phone, your actual first cell phone?
So I just shared that one with my siblings and then I got, was it a flip phone? No, I feel like it was a brick was my first one. Like a Nokia brick, and then it upgraded to just a ghetto red flip phone.
Yeah.
What was your first?
So my brother left on his mission. I got his cell phone for like a month, and his was the kind of rounded Nokia. But then remember, you could get those hard covers over it. And his was like a baseball. So it looked like a baseball. And then that got deactivated. And then we had a rule in our house that you couldn't have a cell phone till you're 16.
Oh, I love that.
I got one at 14 just because times are changing and all my friends had them. So my mom got me one for my 14th birthday and it was purple and it was a brick, but it was pretty thin and had a screen at the top.
So did you like it? Were you like, okay, I'm happy about
I loved it. And I remember I painted these stripes with nail polish on the back and loved it. And ringtones were such a big thing.
Yes. You could buy them for 99 cents.
Do you remember any of your ringtone songs? Ringbacks, yes.
Or ringbacks, if someone was calling you.
Yeah.
And they were listening to a song. That's
there's
cool.
There's still songs where I'm like, oh, this was so-and-so's ringback tone, and it reminds me of them. You'd have your ringtones, and then eventually, like later, I'd set different ringtones from different friends and stuff.
Oh my gosh. I remember one of mine was Soldier Boy.
Really? Oh my gosh. Was it your ringback or your ringtone?
I think it was my ringtone. Ringbacks I think were more expensive. Like you had to pay more and I could never afford for a ringback and I always wanted one. I think too my ringtone was Barbie Girl.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, go. What were yours?
I just remember one and it was All Over You by the Spill Canvas. It was this emo song.
But emo was like 8th grade. Not 7th grade.
Oh, we'll get into that. No, but I didn't have a cell phone in 7th grade.
Okay.
So that was my ringtone. So going into 8th grade.
8th grade feels more like iconic junior high to me. When I think back on junior high, it's more 8th grade. 7th grade, self-discovery. It's kind of awkward, weird, whatever. And then 8th grade's like, we out here writing.
Yeah. My experience in 7th grade was not good. And so I ended up transferring schools and I started going to this new junior high and I was the new girl. And I loved that. Because
new
I
girl
felt
energy is amazing.
Yeah. And so I was making friends, but I had already had good friends there.
Okay.
And so that was good.
Was there because of elementary?
Yeah. I just kept like flip flop. Okay. But it was the best decision I ever made because I feel like my junior high experience was so good. And that's when I feel like a lot of the guys had crushes on me or I was making a lot of friends and it just was like a good experience. So beginning of 8th grade.
Were you nervous? Like I'm going to a new school.
Yeah, I was nervous, but I had my best friend who was like, you're going to love it. Because I was best friend with her all throughout elementary school. And then I was like, I'm going to transfer. Because we moved back in with my grandma while we were remodeling another house. And so boundary-wise, it made sense for me to go there. And I was just like, I hate this junior high anyways. So let me switch to Maddie's school. And so it was just a really good experience. But the beginning of 8th grade, I feel like I was really innocent. And my best friend, Jenny, we would hang out. And we had crushes on boys, but not really hanging out with boys. And the middle of 8th grade was when everything started to shift, where guys were asking, like, will you go out with me? Hand me a note in the hallway or
boyfriends.
Or like MSN Messenger boyfriends. Yeah, but I remember like 2 guys asked me out and I said no. But it was always just awkward. I was like, I don't want to go out with you. But do you feel like you started talking to boys in 8th grade?
Yeah, 8th grade was, will you go out with me? You would date someone for like 2 days, hug them in the hall, and then break up. But then I had my first kiss in 8th grade.
Ooh, getting to the good stuff. Okay, so tell us about this guy and the first kiss.
So his name was Blue.
Blue, that's cute.
BLU. I know, it's a cute name. And don't know where he is now. It's so classic because I think he went to a different high school. So he's very junior high.
One of those, where could he be now?
Yeah. And we all went to the park. It's so funny though, because you had your mom drop you off at one house and then you would just walk everywhere.
Oh yeah, to the park, meet and just hang out at a park at night.
Yeah, where everyone meets up at one house and then you're literally walking miles to either someone else's house or to the park, whatever. So it was a big group of us. We all walked to a park and we all committed, like, we are all kissing tonight. Like everyone's gonna kiss their significant other because it was just a bunch of couples.
You guys were going out at that time.
Yeah, we were all going out, like everyone was going out with someone. And so we all sat in a circle and it was like, okay, everyone go off and everyone go have a kiss. And so it was me and Blue holding hands and just so nervous, like, I'm gonna kiss, I'm gonna kiss. And then we go into the baseball dugout at this park. And this is so iconic. Do you remember you open up a 7-Up bottle and at the top of the bottle there's that little plastic thing that you take and you take the middle out and you stretch it
and wear it as a bracelet.
And if someone broke it, then you had to kiss them. Did you remember that?
Oh my gosh.
Is that memory unlocked?
Yeah, memory unlocked for sure.
So you would always have those. And it was like kissing bracelets. So I had one of those. I'm sure sitting in the baseball dugout. And he grabs that and breaks it.
Oh no.
And I was like, it's happening. And then I was like, I don't know what to do. And he was like, I'll go in 90 and you go in 10. And so he goes up like almost touching my lips to his lips. And then he's like 90. And then I went 10.
That's amazing.
It was like a peck. But I remember his lips felt like sandpaper against my lips. The texture of his lips was kind of weird.
Like not what you expected.
Yeah. And then we all met up again. And everyone's like, did you do it? Did you do it? And everyone's like, yes, we all kissed. And then it was like, okay, next round. Everyone go off and make out.
Oh my gosh. So then did you make out with him?
Yeah, so we went back to the baseball dugout and we started kissing.
What was your first make out like? Did you just not know what to do?
Yeah, and I did not like it.
Like do a little tongue?
I did not like it because he just shoved his tongue in my mouth. And I remember it was gross. It really grossed me out. We probably made out for 30 seconds, you know? Yeah. And then we dated for, I don't know, probably a few months later and then broke up. Just one of those situations.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Okay, but your first kiss is Brandon, my husband.
Oh yeah, that was in 9th grade.
Oh, is that... Well, your first kiss was in elementary.
My first kiss was a peck in elementary school. And then I didn't kiss any guys.
You didn't kiss any guys in 8th grade?
No. I don't know. We were all pretty innocent in 8th grade. And then end of 8th grade, summer, beginning of 9th, that's when I started hanging out with boys. So end of 8th grade... I remember I would hang out with Brandon and his friend, and I was just friends with them. Cute. They'd come over like every day. I used to live on State Street by that Costa Vida.
Yeah.
So we'd walk to Hollywood Video. And
Hollywood Video.
Yeah, we'd rent a video. So we'd always pick out a scary movie.
Of course.
And then we'd go back to my house, watch a scary movie. We'd all go jump on the tramp. Everyone was always at my house in junior high and like part of high school too. But that was one of my favorite summers. I was always the only girl, or they'd have other.
So did you have a crush on Brandon and Lucas, or was it like Brandon at a point and then Lucas? Because you had a crush on Lucas.
Yeah, so it's funny. So I'm trying to think of timeline because, okay, so end of 8th grade, this guy has a party at his house.
Okay.
And I remember me and Brandon were playing ping pong and I had the biggest crush on him. I was like, this new guy from California. He was new to our school.
Yeah.
I think maybe he went to school all of 8th grade. But I didn't know him till the end. Like, that's when he emerged because he became friends with those guys.
Yes.
And his perspective may be different. But I remember I was like, who is this Brandon guy? But they were playing Spin the Bottle out on the field. And he made out with my friend Maddie that night.
Okay. Because that's his first kiss, I think.
Yeah, I think that was his first kiss. Yeah.
Okay.
But I have a memory of playing ping pong. And that was like the first crush I had where I was like, oh my gosh, like he's cute. Movie scene. Oh my gosh, like, there's something there. Type thing. But then I think Brandon, maybe he like went away for the summer or something. Maybe he went back to California. He wasn't around because I think me and one of his best friends would hang out all summer with Sam and some other guys.
He used to spend his summers in Mexico, so he's
maybe that
in
was
Mexico.
it. Like, but I remember Lucas would call me all the time, like, "Hey, what are we doing tonight? I'm coming over." So me and Lucas were good friends. But then Brandon must have come back and we started liking each other. So yeah, I'll tell you the story.
Okay, tell.
I don't even remember what all led up to that, but I remember it was picture day of 9th grade.
Cute. Okay.
Beginning of 9th grade. And we went to the junior high and we were on the playground and we finally were alone together and he asked me to be his girlfriend. And then we just sat on the hill and like made out.
Made out or
like,
kissed?
No, straight up make out.
Like laid
but
on the hill.
But it was just like arm around. It was probably so bad. But also, you want to know what? All of 9th grade, I had this thing called a herpes appliance, which is a metal bar.
The bar that goes, yeah, and then if you open your mouth too wide, it like pops.
Yep. Did you have that?
No, but I knew everyone who did.
Yeah. So it connected in my back tooth and then came up to this tooth and basically would squeak. So I had my first make out with that thing in. So I cannot imagine how bad it was.
Brandon's just like feeling around. And
yeah, just metal bars.
Hurts.
I have no idea. So I remember being self-conscious about that, but it was great because I liked him. I don't remember like being gross, but like. And then I think we probably kissed a couple other times watching a movie, like Disturbia at my house, that type of thing.
Yeah.
I also remember cuddling with boys, and then we'd all be watching a movie, and then they'd be like, oh, my mom's here to pick me up, and I'd be like, no, because it's their curfew 10 or 11, so early. That's the junior high pain. But me and Brandon only dated for like 2 weeks.
Oh,
because he broke up with me.
Rude.
I know. I would love to ask him about this, but he probably doesn't remember. I swear Lucas convinced him to break up with me, though.
Because Lucas liked you.
Because Lucas liked me. So Brandon breaks up with me, and me and my friend Maddie, we have a monster night. So we drink like 2 monsters each and pretend like we're drunk. And I'm just like, Brandon, like, oh my gosh. We always would refer to that night because it was just so fun. Because we just got so hyper on energy drinks and went crazy. But 2 days later, Lucas swoops in. And basically, we switch. Like, we were hanging out with this other girl. Brandon goes off with his other girl and is kissing her. And then me and Lucas start kissing. And he asked me to be his girlfriend that night.
And you're like, okay, sweet.
And so it was a quick jump to a different guy. And then I was really into Lucas. And so then it was just like me and Brandon were friends ever since then. And he dated a lot of my friends, too. Yeah. So it was just not weird. And we all would continue to hang out.
Yeah. It's crazy though, because your junior high was 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. Mine was only 7th, 8th grade. So 9th grade is so high school to me.
Yeah, see, that's true.
Because I feel like I had my first quote unquote real boyfriend in 9th grade that we dated for like 6-7 months, you know?
Yes, but it's funny because the other junior high I went to, they weren't even making out in junior high. Like, if you made out in junior high, you were like a slut. But at my junior high, we were all kissing and getting crazy. That was beginning of 9th grade. And then as 9th grade went on, I started hanging out with sketchier and sketchier guys and
went downhill.
No, but going back to 8th grade, I had a crush on, there was these 2 brothers, hot brothers, and I had a crush on the oldest one. And I remember he was just iconic.
The guy on sleepover.
Yeah, a skateboarder in a band. And I had such a crush on him. So I remember one day he wrote on my MySpace wall and was like, we should hang out sometime. And that was it for me.
Everything.
So then I commented back. But then I had my 2 most embarrassing moments with him. So I literally had such a crush on this guy. I just never went anywhere. So I go over to his house and him and his brother and their friend are all on the couch. I go watch Superbad. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is happening. Like, we're going to cuddle or something.
This is 8th grade.
This is 8th grade. And we're sitting by each other. And I have like, you know, when your throat starts itching and you have like a cough attack.
No.
And I'm like, water, like, just like, water. They're like, are you okay? Do you need some water? It was so bad. So then that happened. And then he was in this band. A lot of the cool guys at my junior high were like punk rock emo dudes, you know, skateboarders. Literally, we had a battle of the bands that Neon Trees came and played at.
Oh, it's legit.
I know, but it was before they became big. But he played the bass. And so I remember I went through an emo phase. I'd go to shows with my sister at downtown Provo because she was in high school and she was friends with all of them.
I'm closing my eyes picturing black hair Sammy. Like, you had like brown.
I dyed my hair brown, like full swoop bangs, brown hair, and eyeliner. And then I remember I just started dressing emo
to impress this
musical lyrics, whatever. So my sister taught me this thing that if you go up to a guitarist and go like this, that means play more. So we did it at Battle of the Bands. I was like, I'm gonna go up to him and go like this and have him play. Anyway, so then I'm like, yeah, I love going to shows and I love Chiodos. So we went to a show with him one night. Me, my best friend, and my sister. And we're walking. We went to the local gas station to get slushies. And I'm talking to him. And I go to step on the sidewalk and I miss the curb. And I full on face plant it. This is the second time I hung out with him. And I'm just like, yes, this is going somewhere. I'm going to be your punk rock princess. And I face plant it in front of him. And he just puts his hood on and walks up with his best friend. And they're like laughing. And I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm good. Like, ripped a hole in my jeans, like my freaking palms are on fire because I just face planted it in the pavement.
And there's nothing worse. You're like, just look away.
I just stand up and I'm like, I'm good. And then I just don't think we ever talked again. Just like 2 strikes you're out, you know?
I'm dying.
But that was my emo phase where I just literally was like, yeah, I love all the things you love. And it's so cringy to think back.
The things you do for boys. That's the thing.
Yeah. You will change your entire personality.
We just want to be liked. We out here just trying to be liked.
I know, and that's so sad.
I know, it's rough.
It really is. Okay, so then let's see what else. So 8th grade fashion in 8th grade. I remember leggings with a denim skirt were so cute. It was kind of like 80s style was coming back.
Oh my gosh, yes. Or even pants with the skirt over.
Yeah. Headbands with polka dots.
Okay,
and like big earrings.
But the leggings with a skirt were lace. They were like capri leggings with lace. Mm-hmm. Yep. And then the denim skirt. Mm-hmm. And then a tight double tank shrug.
Like cute kind of poofy sleeve. Mm-hmm. And headbands. Like the beginning of 8th grade, getting a bunch of headbands. And Converse.
And really eclectic earrings. Like stars that had zebra print on them, like stuff like that.
Oh yeah. And in 8th grade I would wear, I feel like a lot of people know me for this because I've gotten this multiple times. My friend's older sister worked at the MAC counter and I got this MAC palette that was green and blue, and so I would do eyeliner but like green or blue eyeliner, and I thought it was so cute at the time. And I remember a couple of people from junior high like, I remember you always had the cutest eyeshadow. And that was really the first time I got into makeup where I got a brush and really learned how to do it. And me and my friend were obsessed with it.
You're very MAC girl though. That's my memories of
high school.
Is you with
always
MAC.
MAC foundation. Yeah. I don't do any MAC anymore, but yeah, MAC was
the place.
The cool thing to do.
Totally. Were you brace face?
I didn't get braces till the end of 8th grade.
Are you serious? I got braces literally 6th grade to 8th grade, and then I got them off in 8th grade, and it was the best day of my life. So when did you get your braces off?
I didn't get mine off till sophomore year.
Oof.
But no, that's what's so funny. But it's like in junior high, the emo phase was a thing.
Okay, like, so when did you get MySpace?
Cool. 7th grade.
Yeah, I feel like I got MySpace
end of 7th.
I feel like I was 8th grade MySpace, but we were so sketchy looking back on it. All the creepiest dudes.
See, I don't remember ever running into people I didn't know. It was just all people I knew.
My friend, her house is the one we would go to. Her computer was the one that had all the riddled viruses because we would do LimeWire and MySpace and all weird things. And she was emo. Like, remember Turkey Tail where you would cut the top of your hair and then you would poof it up and it was spiky at the back?
Yes.
And then she had the blonde bangs, and I remember I dyed them. We went to Sally's beauty salon, bought bleach. I put a glob on her bangs and just grabbed a thing of tinfoil and crunched it on her. I'm like, great. We waited an hour. It's just orange.
Oh my gosh.
Rinse it, spotty. So awful. She's like, sweet, love it.
Looks amazing.
And she was the type that would just cut her hair with freaking nail scissors and stuff like that. She just did not give an F.
Yeah.
And we were all about the MySpace photo shoots. It was like, okay, get in that tree.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And wear the weirdest outfit, emo outfit, put black eyeliner on.
The photo shoots, yes. And the friendship photo shoots. Oh my gosh. Like all of us walking by like a bridge or a train track.
I'm so sad because my group of girlfriends, we did one of those later. I think probably sophomore year. We did another one, train track status. But a bunch of girls in 8th grade. One of the girls, her older sister was a photographer, so she's like, get all your friends and I'm gonna do it for my photography class or whatever.
Yeah.
I wasn't invited, and still to this day I see those pictures and I'm like, these monsters, because it's the cute flared jeans and they're all behind, holding hands, looking behind. And I remember,
sad.
You know what other fashion trend in winter? Do you remember the knit beanies? Your bangs come swoop out, but it was kind of the top of your head. You'd wear them and they were knit. And there would be like a flower.
Yes.
You know, in that photo shoot, I just vividly pictured one of the girls with that and the flower and the Ugg boots.
Yep. With the flare jeans, tucking them in. They're just saggy Uggs.
Oh, yeah. Because then also you would walk on the innards of your feet.
Yes. Also, do you remember the Live Strong bands in 7th grade?
Live Strong? It was like the yellow Live Strong bracelets. Were the shits. Just those gummy bracelets became a thing.
I remember there was this girl in 7th grade who got into an accident and she was in the hospital, and so there was these Pray for Tori bands that were so cool, and Pray for Tori shirts, and so it just...
Were they pink?
I don't know what, maybe. I don't know what color they were, but I feel like they started for movements of stuff like that where you could get certain bands and it was like a cool thing to have.
And so if you had an armful of those, it was like, whoa.
Yeah, those rubber bracelets were
But
iconic.
do you remember the thin rubber bracelets, but if you connected them together and they were crisscrossed, it was like, oh, she had sex. Did you ever do that?
No, I don't.
It was like if
that.
you wore them a certain way, we would be like, oh, they're this or that.
And also the Bath and Body Works lip glosses. Do you remember those like menthol lip glosses?
I wonder if they're still there. And you like kind of eat them.
They are. Yeah.
They would like, get in your mouth a little bit and you're like.
There was this one that was my lucky lip gloss. This was more 9th grade, but it was a lemon lime daiquiri flavor. And I still have it in my memory box because it was my go-to lip gloss.
I know, this sticky lip gloss.
Yep.
Just your hair getting smacked in your lip gloss and you're like, ugh, like trying to get it out was such a thing.
Yep, 100%. So then you go into 9th grade.
I feel like it was very like you're in high school.
So you probably matured a little bit faster.
I know, because for you, you're the oldest and you're the coolest and the most
9th
mature.
grade was my favorite year because I felt the oldest, but it was still small knit.
Yes.
Where senior year is more wide.
Exactly.
But 9th grade was so fun to me.
I wish that it was 7th, 8th, 9th. I wanted my junior high to be 7th, 8th, 9th. I was so excited to go into high school, but looking back on it, I wish they were.
Do you remember when you started your period?
Yeah, 7th grade.
Tell me that story.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so my mom didn't talk to me about periods. It was like 6th grade maturation. Do you remember that? In 6th grade, they sit you down and they tell you about maturation and they give you a little baggie with pads and tampons or whatever. So I remember just so embarrassed by all of that. Put it in the bottom of my drawer. So I wake up and my underwear is covered in blood, but it's dark blood. And I was like, oh my gosh, I pooped my pants.
Oh.
So I ran and threw my underwear away. And I'm wiping and it's red. And I'm like, I knew that this was going to happen one day. Like, this is it. Mayday, mayday. We are here. Code red. Literally.
Oh my gosh.
And I was so embarrassed. I didn't want to tell my mom. And so I go to my sister and I was like, Haley, I started this. She threw me a pad. And she was like, just put this in your underwear. You're fine. I put it in all day. I just felt so much shame. Like, I'm disgusting.
Did you wear pads for a while? Or
no. So I have my pad on and then Haley told my mom, hey, Chelsey started her period. You need to go talk to her or whatever. And so my mom that same day handed me a tampon, pretty much locked me in the bathroom and said, you have to learn how to use these. Trust me. You're never using pads. Pads are gross. Put a tampon in. And I was in the bathroom, I can't figure it out. Mom, like, I don't know. She ended up coming in, like, teaching me how to do it, the whole thing. And afterwards I was like, okay, at least I know how to put a tampon in. I never want to talk to you about this ever again. That's where you talk about like, oh, crushes made me feel so uncomfortable and awkward. Like, I never.
Yeah, it's so interesting because I was so open with my mom about this kind of stuff.
No, I never wanted to talk about it. I was so embarrassed. And then at the dinner table that night, my mom goes, guess what, guys? Chelsey became a woman today.
Oh, no. And you wanted to die.
Literally wanted to die. It was awful.
Oh, no.
And then I remember some girls, it was a status thing, like, oh, I started my period. So I was happy that I started in 7th grade because I felt like I could be in on that, but I definitely didn't like talking about it. It was very embarrassing.
Yeah.
And then I remember one girl, she stands up in 7th grade and she was wearing white pants, huge stain on her butt. Her chair was blood.
Ugh.
And I was just like,
It's so
cannot.
hard. It's
like rough.
Yeah.
That age is rough.
Junior high is so hard. And then that happening is rough.
Yeah, Kate, tell me your period story. When did you start yours?
Not till 8th grade.
Okay.
But what's funny is, so we had this 4-wheeler and we lived up in Linden, like up in the foothills. And so we'd always go ride the 4-wheeler. And we weren't allowed to ride the 4-wheeler when my mom and dad weren't home. So my mom was at Summer Relief Society meeting and me and my sister took the 4-wheeler out and she turned super sharp and I slipped off the 4-wheeler and she ran me over. But it wasn't that bad. But we couldn't tell my mom because we weren't supposed to take it out.
She ran over you.
Yeah.
Like, boom, boom,
I
boom, boom.
had like tire marks on my stomach. I'm not even kidding. This is so random. But anyways, that night we were going dress shopping for our little Miss Linden pageant. And I was limping and I couldn't tell my mom that my sister ran me over because we weren't supposed to take the 4-wheeler out. Anyway, so I had some blood come out of me at that time, like in my underwear. I don't know what it came from, if it was actual
period or if it was internal blood.
or if it was internal. I was internally bleeding and just not telling my mom. But we finally confessed to her and I was like, Mom, we got into it. And she's like, why didn't you guys tell me? Because she's like, Sammy, why are you limping? What is up? And so we told her and it was fine. But I remember that night I was like, oh my gosh, I have blood in my underwear. And so my mom thought I started my period. And so her and my aunt were like, oh my gosh, welcome to the club. Sammy's a part of the girl club. And I was just like, woohoo. But then it was like false alarm, did not start my period.
That was 7th grade.
That was 5th grade.
Okay.
So I remember that.
Okay.
But then I literally don't remember starting my period. Isn't that weird?
At all. And
No,
you
like,
knew it was 8th
I
grade.
have memories of switching out. And I wore pads till probably 9th grade.
So what do you feel about pads? Are you like,
no,
ew?
they're gross. But my mom wore pads because she had some weird thing with her uterus or something and couldn't wear tampons. And so she had to wear pads. And so I just wore pads and they're gross.
I know.
So my
looking
sister
back on
finally
it,
taught me, but it's hard to learn how to put a tampon
that's
in.
what I'm saying. That day I was so like, I cannot do this. So my mom literally had to come in and she was like, "Kay, freaking." But also it's another thing growing up like heavily religious. You're not exploring up there. You don't know there's some holes. No. I didn't know. Maybe other people are. I didn't know really anything about my body.
No. And that's the thing. You lose so much of your innocence slowly in junior high, finding out what things mean and discovering things. And it's kind of traumatic because you're like, wait, what? That's what that is? Or that's what that word stands for? Or people actually do that? I remember me and my friend, we would talk in 8th grade about like blowjobs or sex. And I'm like, is it bad? I just never want to do that with my husband. And she's like, yeah, hopefully our husbands will be okay with us not doing it. That just doesn't sound fun to me. We were just so not...
Yes.
We thought that was so weird and gross, you know? And then there's this shift of your innocence getting taken away and just being exposed to all of this crap.
I know. Oh, I hate that. I never want my kids to experience that. But I remember in 8th grade, it was really nice because one of my friends, she was kind of my guru when it came to slowly peeling back my innocence because she just knew everything and knew all of the terminology. So she was my guide, but I don't feel like I had to firsthand experience anything, but she knew everything. So through her, I feel like I was able to be in and know what freaking hand job was and a blow job and all that stuff. But it was definitely not from me having to experience any of that kind of stuff. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's good that you're able to before that, because I feel like discovering that stuff is hard. Yeah,
so then you can kind of set those boundaries and realize, oh, okay, that kind of stuff does exist and that's out there, and then you're at least like aware of what those things are.
Yeah, it's annoying because I feel like we'd always play stupid games with all of the guys that we'd hang out with. They would play dumb games. Oh, let's play truth or dare. Oh, I dare you to like whatever, take off your shirt, not like fully naked, but just like stuff,
your bra,
or playing like sex in the car where you'd see a broken taillight and you'd head the top and then you'd have to take off an article of clothing or whatever. And so I remember playing stupid truth or dare games like, let's switch clothes or let's whatever. And we started hanging out with this other group of guys. So my 2 friends were hanging out with these guys and I was literally on a couch in between them. Like they were both making out and I was like there by myself.
And you're just sitting in the middle of them making out.
Yeah, we were watching Friends and I just remember being like, oh my gosh. But that was pretty common in like
this is
junior
9th
high,
grade.
high school. This is 9th grade. You're like, where is this going? So then one of the guys that was making out with my friend was like, I'm going to call my friend for you. And I remember seeing him on MySpace and stuff and being like, oh, he's hot. I want to hang out with him. And so he comes over and we start making out. And I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm moving on from this other guy. This is perfect. And he starts to put his hands down my pants. And I literally did not know that was a thing. Like I was so genuinely confused what he was doing.
Why would you want your hand down there?
Yeah, I genuinely did not understand. And then I didn't even think about like sex or anything, but just like, what are you doing? Like, why are you going down there? And then I remember after just feeling so guilty, and I thought he was so cool, so I didn't want to say no. And that's something me and a few of my friends struggled with in junior high and high school, is just you don't have that confidence to say no yet. And this group of guys that I'd hang out with were so insistent and would make you feel dumb. Like, are you sure? Really just pressure you into it. And of course you want them to think you're cool or whatever. And so you just do it and you were not into it at all.
You know, that makes me want to throw up and hug younger Sammy and punch all these boys.
I know, it's so sad.
Because it's like, it's so hard because, I don't know, what do you feel like you're going to tell your kids, especially your girls? How do you feel like you're going to parent them knowing what you went through at such a young age?
Yeah, I think a huge part of it is confidence and self-worth. If you have confidence and self-worth in junior high and high school, then you kind of know what to stand up for. And I think just even telling them that that's a thing. I think it's hard because once they hit 6th grade, the maturation program type thing, that's when you start having a conversation of like, hey, you're going to start kissing boys. They're going to try and do stuff to you. And be so specific. How you and Carly talked about saying your body parts and things. Like, hey, guys are really horny at that age. And this is what horny means. And this is what they're trying to do. And this is what they're feeling. And you might feel something too. And really getting down and specific. And even if they feel like, Mom, this is so awkward. It's like, no, listen to me. Because this is going to
potentially save you. Yeah. Because I think for me, I was at such a different point where I don't know what it was, but I was like, no guy ever freaking tried to put his hand down my pants at that age or anything. But even if a guy was getting a little handsy or started grinding on me or what, I was like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
And it was very based in like the church. I was like, I know that that's wrong and I don't want to do that. And so I was like, no. But also I did feel like I had my voice in those moments of I don't like this.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think about where that comes from. Like why I felt that intuition of I don't like this. And I think it was that shame, but also I was fine being like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And no.
See, and I think that's good. I think it's a personality thing, being able to be like.
But also you had no idea what that was even a thing.
That's
and then
the thing,
at all. And obviously mixing in with, oh, he's cute. It's just so easy for those things to spiral out of control.
Yeah. And you're like, I don't know him. And they're used to hooking up with girls or whatever. So they don't think it's weird, or I don't know. The whole thing is really hard. But I think having that confidence, having those conversations, and then not plastering so much of the only reason why you're not doing this is because it's bad and you have to repent.
I know.
I feel like my reasoning, even going into high school and later in junior high, it'd be like, oh, I don't want to have to go talk to my bishop again. So I'm not. Or that feeling of after the boys leave and that guy freaking touched my boob or took my bra off or something. Now I have to go talk to my bishop, and that's the worst feeling.
I know, it's kind of tapping into your own intuition. In general, kids that young should not be doing those things. Like, you're too young. You're not mature enough, especially these little girls. You don't understand and you're not ready to experience those things.
Well, and I think raising boys too, teaching them no means no.
I know, that's why I feel such a intense call to teach my boys like respect and boundaries. And again, I want them to always feel confident and safe, but it's different. Boys and girls are different, and it is more physical for boys than girls. Girls, it's more mental and emotional, and obviously that physical side is amazing too for girls, but it is more emotional and mental. And so I feel very called for my boys to be like, no, listen, this is how it really is. This is what you do. This is what you don't do. Really teaching consent and explaining how a girl would be feeling in those situations and what that looks like for girls, and explaining the difference will be powerful. And I look at my husband Brandon, he didn't do anything with any girls, and I'm so grateful for his perspective and his respect. And I think it goes back to how he was raised and how respectful he is as a person, you know? And I really want to
keep that going for sure. No, I agree. And I think it's a hard thing to do, but
I just feel like these little boys too that were doing those things. I feel sad for them. It's like, how are you this young and knowing what these things are? What have you been exposed to?
Yeah, I think that's the thing too, is I'm like, someone taught you this. How do you know what this is?
What's your story?
You had to grow up too fast. Yeah, it's really sad. Do you remember having a lot of fights with friends in junior high? Did you ever have any falling out with friends or anything like that?
It was always like, oh, I feel left out early, like 7th grade. 8th grade, it was more like, okay, I'm in with my friend group. I feel good. I don't remember a lot of fights, having fights that young age. And then tacking on 9th grade, for sure, boys started coming into play. And I'm feeling sad because you have a crush on him and da-da-da-da. So there was those kind of fights. Did you have falling outs with friends?
Yeah, there was a couple of times. I remember I got in a fight with my two best friends in 9th grade because they heard that I spread some rumor about them or something. And I was like, I did not say that. And they didn't talk to me for a whole week. But that's what's hard. Did you ever have rumors spread about you?
No,
that's the
really.
thing. We just got into this cycle of hooking up with all these guys. And, I had so many rumors spread about me. And guys in junior high are just gross.
And brutal. They'll just be like, she's ugly. She's butterface. And
butterface, yes. So mean, so brutal. I mean, some of that self-discovery can be really fun. I remember me and my two best friends being like, oh, olives make you horny. Let's go eat olives. Or checking our underwear after we make out with a guy. And like, no, it gets wetter down there. I'm telling you, it's a thing. And I'm like, really? It's a thing? You just discover all of these weird, gross things, obviously, but together you're not getting taught this and you don't really understand it.
But that on one side it's like, oh, funny cute stuff, and then on the other side it's like, parents, be better, do better, teach your kids better.
They shouldn't be hearing this from their friends.
Know what things are, know what happens with your body,
and know that they're going to be exposed to these situations.
So have those conversations. I know at least my parents did not have those conversations with me.
And I think our generation's going to do so much better, at least with that, for sure. It's weird.
But no big friendship breakups.
No, not in junior high. I don't feel. I mean, like, I moved schools and stuff in 7th grade. I had a bunch of friends falling out. But no, I think it was just little fights here and there. And I do look at my best friend in 8th grade. When I started hanging out with boys, I do feel bad because I'm like, did I leave her in the dust? I think about it a lot where I'm like, oh, she was my best friend. And then we weren't ever as close. We still remain friends, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it shifts and changes because boys are everything.
Boys are, at that point, they're always everything. But then really 8th grade, you realize, oh, I can do something about this. From that point on, it's a game over.
Yeah, and then I felt like there was a lot of friends kissing each other's exes or
that's
liking
when all
the same
drama.
guy, and that gets really tricky.
Yeah.
It's hard. Okay, what about music, movies, TV? Do you remember what movies or TV you were watching at that time?
No, get my memory jogging.
You're like, please just tell me. I was trying to think about TV and I don't really remember. I remember watching MTV and stuff in elementary school, end of elementary school.
Oh yeah, I feel like MTV, like Next and Parental Control.
Yeah,
and
all of those.
That was definitely junior.
Super Sweet 16 or whatever.
Oh my God,
all
yes.
of those. Movies, John Tucker Must Die was iconic.
Oh, so good.
I feel like that was really, I don't know, just like the fashion, the style. Even when I watch that now, I'm like, holy crap, this is like a time capsule of what it was like to grow up in that time.
Yep.
And She's the Man.
Was that junior high? I loved
She's the Man was like 8th grade. And then I remember reading the Twilight book. Remember how popular the Twilight book was?
Oh my gosh, that was my first time like sexual awakening. This is making me feel things too. Reading freaking Edward and Bella getting down. I was like, ooh, okay.
Yeah. And then the movie coming out. Also, that was a core memory for me, was always going to the movies. We'd walk down to the Riverwoods, go to the movies.
Windsong.
Yes. And then we would wait in line, play cards, wait for midnight showing.
Oh, my whole childhood is Windsong. Where you would be in the hallway and you would camp out.
Yeah.
Literally till midnight. You would go in the middle of the day, go all the way. And then if it was a Harry Potter or Twilight, you would get those little DVD players that you could watch, and you'd watch the other ones leading up to it.
Oh, that's so fun.
And so we would, play cards, get games. That's what I miss so much. So many of my memories are at that movie theater.
And do you remember the little glow sticks you'd put in your mouth?
Oh.
During the movie?
No.
You get them at the vending machine ahead of time. And they're these little mini glow sticks you'd put in your mouth. And I remember they'd be so cool because they glow. Or the photo booth that was out in that waiting room.
The photo booth for sure was so cool. Oh, that makes me sad. That's such a time that no one understands that anymore now that you can just buy tickets online.
Yeah. Or going to the movies and holding hands with the guy or all the things.
Oh, that makes me so...
I know, it hurts.
Because you're sitting at the movie theater and the guy's open palm on the armrest. And then you just finally connect.
Yeah.
And then it's sweaty and sticky.
And just uncomfortable the whole movie, but at least you're touching. But also When a Stranger Calls and Disturbia. Those were the two scary movies of junior high where I feel like we'd really freak ourselves out.
Oh, Disturbia's, I can really hang with Disturbia.
I showed Disturbia to my niece a couple months ago and she loved it because she kind of loves scary things. But I'm like, oh girl, you have to watch this. Just
when he zooms up and then it's the face in the vent. And then he's like, Mom!
And just the Asian friend, he's so horny. That whole thing.
And the kiss, we talked about that.
Oh yeah. Also, carrying around a digital camera. I would have my digital camera with me, my iPod Nano, and my cell phone. Always just 3 things I carry with me.
But that was high school for me. Junior high was not like that, but like for sure just...
But high school, you'd start to have a camera on your cell phone, and then you'd have the super grainy, crappy pictures, you know? Okay, I want to go over the best and worst songs. Do you remember
You play
what
some
kind
for
of
me.
music that you listen to. Oh, do you want me to play them?
Yeah.
Also, that's when I discovered Taylor Swift. My friend Sam, he burned her first CD for me, and
Burn CDs were a huge part of my junior high.
yeah, because we still, even though we had our iPod, we would burn CDs for each other to give each other music, and then we would put them onto our iPod or whatever. Okay, I'm going to play you some of the most iconic ones, okay?
You made me so many CDs.
I know, in high school.
You made
Party
me a
Hall the
whole...
Wasted. That's the thing. It was like
when
before
was that for? Was that for
playlists.
my birthday, or you just made them for me? You would make me stacks and stacks of CDs. Yeah, I don't
That
have
was
any
like my
anymore,
favorite thing to do.
Actually, I might have one more in my memory box of Party Hall Wasted.
Okay, I'm going to start with some 7th grade ones. I'm going to go through some of these 7th grade ones and tell me if you remember these ones. Because this one was like, oh my gosh.
So sick of love songs.
Uh-huh.
So
This one
good.
too.
It's so good.
This one. This was 7th
Oh,
grade.
And gentlemen. Ooh.
That was
So cool.
oh my gosh, this one.
This is here. Got
Does
me
this one
like
hurt
a
your
fish.
tummy? Got me like a fish. I remember this music video. That's the thing. Me and my friends would watch music videos.
Oh.
Okay, no, this song.
Oh.
I had the entire Panic at the Disco album completely memorized.
All I know is I'm still thinking of you saying Chiodos.
Oh, Chiodos was so cool. Do you
And
disagree?
like,
Do you remember
Seosin, Chiodos.
Taking Back Sunday?
Yes.
All up cute is what we aim for. What was the Chiodos song? And Scary Kids, Scaring Kids. You know that music video with them in the van? Let me out. Let me out.
I'm scared of you.
No, but really the intro to emo music was Face Down, Jumpsuit Apparatus.
Oh.
You know, they're like, face down in the dirt.
We'll play it.
Eric, stop singing. No, but the end part gets screamo, and so people feel like a man.
Yes.
Also, okay, last one for the best. This one.
Oh.
Akon.
I think this was actually my ringtone at one point.
This one. Like, let me just. It hurts.
Satisfied.
Oh, you want to know what song this one was?
Way too
Like,
beautiful, girl.
Yeah. Why? But
I
we
love
really grew up in
you.
the best.
Thank
Okay,
you.
but let me take you to some of the worst ones.
Okay, please.
This one, we'll go with the first one first because it's so bad. And me and my friends would always hear this at Seven Peaks, and we want to blow our brains
Seven
out.
Peaks music.
Best thing about tonight's that we're not fighting.
Do you remember this
Yeah,
song?
it hurts a little.
Even been this way before.
Actually, I don't hate it though.
Oh gosh, that's the worst one. Me and my
Seven
friend hated
Peak
it.
songs need to be a whole genre. Seven Peak homies, you know what we're talking about.
Oh yeah.
Hell no. Get that off
Also,
right now.
can I just tell you that our freaking DJ played the song while we were cutting out cake at our wedding, and I literally can't stop thinking about it.
You're lying. Why in the...
He played Hey There Delilah while we cut our freaking cake. He was the worst. He showed up like 2 hours late.
Oh my, I remember.
Played the worst music. Didn't play half
And
the
you-
songs I wanted to.
and
I
here's
was
the
so
thing.
specific.
Yeah, you had a whole playlist. Music is everything to you.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It breaks my heart just thinking about it. I'm
Hey
like-
there, Delilah, as you cut the cake.
I was was having an out of body experience. I was like, should I go tell him to change it? I'm having the happiest moment of my life, but he's playing Hey There Delilah. And this is what people are going to remember.
Oh, yeah. No.
Sounds so sweet. But
Was it
honestly,
like-
like sometimes I'll bop to this and I'm like, wow, this really slaps.
What about like Iris Goo Goo Dolls?
Okay, that's like a classic though.
But
That's
no,
not bad.
No, I'm saying, is that junior high or is that high school?
It's like 6th, 7th grade, I think.
Okay, like Goo Goo Dolls. Oh, that was everyone's ringtone. That.
I cannot believe their eyes.
I hate it.
I actually loved this when it first came out, but now it's
No, Colby. Yeah, I did. I loved it too, and now like it's very like no.
oh yeah, it's so bad.
Wherever
Starts with your toes and
My nose.
Yeah, those are some of the worst ones I could think of. But man, that's rough. Okay, should we call and get some stories?
Yeah, let's call our friends and see if we can get some good
Like
stories.
some junior high peeps.
Yeah, call your junior high BFFs and let's see if we can get some stories. Okay, we're going to call my friend Ellie. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
You're on the pod.
Hello.
Give us the dirty deets.
You're so much of my junior high experience, and I need you to tell me about your first kiss. I remember it was with Thad, no?
Yes.
Okay, tell me the whole story. I wonder if this was the same story, if we had the same first kiss. Was it at the park?
No.
Okay, so tell me.
Jesse Glenville at the park or something, or was that like home?
That was Kelsey. I was dating Blue Haws, remember? And we were all at the park, and you were with Thad. And that was the day that we were all like, okay, everyone has to go off and kiss. But I know that you were with that night. I think it was you guys. You were the instigators.
We would have done that. No, that wasn't it.
Okay, tell me.
Maybe we had already kissed and we were trying to get you guys all to kiss.
Exactly. That's what I think happened.
Okay, here's what happened. So we're in my parents' basement back in, I don't know, whenever it was.
This is
Oh my
8th
gosh,
grade. This is 8th grade.
2007
Yeah,
or
this is
something
8th
crazy.
grade for sure.
In my parents' basement, and we're sitting on the couch, and I remember something was for sure up, and I had a sense, and he was trying to get all of you guys on board. I don't really remember who was there. I'm assuming you were. The only person I remember that was there is, I'm going to use names, Abby Christensen.
Okay.
This is why. Okay. So he's like whispering to all my friends, and he's like, Ellie, come sit over here. And then all my friends like rush out of the room, and he's like, oh, look over there. And so I look over there, and I'm like, what? And I look back, and he just plants one on me. And then everybody comes in giggling, like, oh my gosh, you did it. You kissed her. Abby Christensen jumps on my parents' glass coffee table. My parents did not have one thing in their house that was any kind of child age friendly, like no age. So Abby Christensen jumps on this coffee table. I remember she's kneeling on it. All of a sudden, crash. She falls through the coffee table and she slices her thigh open. I don't remember if she's wearing a dress or if it went through the pants, but it was deep. Blood everywhere. So we have to call Abby Christensen's mom, and she wasn't allowed to hang out with boys at that time. So we had to like hide Thad.
Oh my gosh,
and then Abby Christensen like goes to the hospital and gets stitches.
No, I
That was my
remember
first
that
kiss.
so vividly.
And that was
It was like a shard of glass,
a shard of glass,
like
Yes.
protruding from her leg. And I think she like
Yes.
grabbed it and like ripped it out, and just blood like squirting up, and us being like, no. And then she was like, hide that. And so like, Dad goes in the closet, and we're just like, okay, that is hilarious. I cannot believe that that was the same day.
Yeah, that was it.
Oh my gosh. I love you so much.
Pack it in when you're in junior high. Oh my gosh. Both of you were, I guess, high school, but
Yes.
yeah, I mean, you were elementary, junior high.
Yes.
Life, man.
Okay, thanks for telling us that story. I love you so much. That's
You're welcome.
hilarious.
I love you.
Okay,
It's
bye.
hilarious. Okay, bye.
Classic.
I remember that so vividly. Now, I didn't realize that was her first kiss.
That was that night. Oh my gosh, I love it. She really is iconic junior high.
Like, if anyone is from Utah County and I say that Ellie Cardulo, like, everyone knows who that is.
Yeah, 100%. Okay. Okay, I'm going to
Oh, because you recognized Ellie before you even recognized me.
Oh, I knew Ellie from MySpace.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. She was the MySpace girl, and I was behind those pictures of her just
You're like one of the randoms.
higher.
Well, because she just had, she had the email thing going the whole thing.
Oh,
so
and
it
her
was,
and she knew how to code. Her MySpace wall, she was parentheses BR.
Oh,
and thing,
HTML. MySpace taught me how to code too. Okay. I'm going to call my friend Maddie.
Hello?
Hi, Mads.
Hey.
You're on the pod.
Okay.
Are you ready to open up to us about your trauma?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I need you to tell me that period story.
Okay. Okay, so it was 7th grade. It was like one of my first periods.
Okay.
And it's the end of the day. I desperately need to change my pad. I don't know if you remember Canyon View Junior High. It's basically like one long hallway.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I need to change my pad so bad. It's the last class of the day, but I can't make it to my locker and then clear to the opposite side of the school where the orchestra room is. So I'm just like, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Like, I can make it through. So I go to class. We're practicing for our recital. So we're like playing a song. We stand up. We switch seats. We sit down. We play a song. And then we do it again.
Oh, no.
So I'm like out of breath because I ran upstairs. I'm pregnant. And I'm like,
No, you're good.
so we stand up. We switch seats. We sit down. So we're sitting there. We play our song. I stand up. I look down. There's a puddle of blood on my chair. And I'm thinking as fast as I can, like, what do I do? Can I hurry and wipe this up with something? What do I do? And then the boy that's coming to sit in my chair is already there. But luckily it was this really nice guy. He grabs the chair and he takes it to the back of the class, like, as fast as he can, and brings a new clean chair
Oh my
to
gosh,
sit down. Isn't that nice?
Yeah, that's so cute.
And then I look up. My orchestra teacher makes eye contact with me. He sees the whole thing and he just mouths to me like, go, get out of here. So I was able to get out of there, went to the bathroom, called my mom. She picked me up before school even got out. So I don't think a single person even knew or saw.
Mm-hmm.
But it could have been so bad if a different 7th grade boy got to that chair. Maddie, you're bleeding.
Yeah, like, ew, what's this
It could
blood?
have been so bad. And I don't think he told a soul, like, no one ever knew or anything, but it could have been so much worse.
Oh my gosh.
Who was it?
I don't think you would have known him.
course.
His name's Robbie.
Oh no.
Robbie Robinson, right? But I don't know why I
Yeah,
thought it was Chase
Robbie
Orland.
Robinson. If I ever saw him again or saw his wife, I would tell that story because I think it's so sweet.
I know. I would hope my boys do that. Like,
Yeah, I know. I don't think she can hear you, but
Oh, yeah, I heard you. I know.
Oh.
I was asking Logan. I was like, did you know what a period was in 7th grade or what would you have done? And he's like, oh, I would have handled that so bad. I would have told everybody. Like, I know.
I know, because guys don't understand.
uh-huh.
Yeah, exactly.
Mads, who was your first kiss?
Braden Hill.
Do you remember your first kiss story?
Yeah, it's not that exciting. We were just in Maddie's basement watching How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. And it was more of a first makeout. Like, we just started making out.
Do you have any other traumatic stories from junior high that you can share with us?
Trying to think. If you probably remember them better than I do.
Yeah, I'd probably
What was
definitely
your
do.
first kiss? You probably already shared it. So I'll have to
Yeah,
listen.
Brandon. Except for you got to him first. I was just telling the story about how we were at Dalton's party and me and him were playing ping pong, and then like next thing I knew, he was out putting some in the bottle, making out with you.
I know. I was such a slut in junior high.
I know, but you're iconic. That's the thing. Oh my
I'm
gosh.
scared to listen to this episode.
I know. I'm just like spilling all your secrets. No, it's fine. I won't use names. Just people can fill in the blanks of what they think is about
That's
you.
funny. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for sharing. Love you.
Yep. Okay,
Love you,
Bye.
Mads. Bye.
Okay. Should we call my sister?
Yeah, call your sister.
Okay. I'm gonna have her tell us the most rebellious thing she did.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
You're on the pod.
Oh, hi.
Hi. This is your debut.
Oh my gosh, can't wait.
I was just talking about how much of a rebel you were in junior high. Can you tell us about the story of you know what, in 7th grade?
Yeah. Okay. Kids, plug your ears. I think I have already told my kids this story, but they listen to your podcast, so
Yeah, don't do this.
yeah, kids don't follow in your mommy's footsteps. But I just wanted to be different. Like in 4th grade, I was wearing like magnetic earrings in my lip. This was like really edgy.
Setting the tone.
So in 7th grade, I wanted to pierce my belly button because like I thought it was super hot, obviously. And so you had to be 18 to buy the piercing kit. And then I found someone that was in 9th grade when I was in 7th grade, and she said she would pierce my belly button if I could get someone to buy the kit. And so me and my friend went up to a random group of boys, and we just asked them if we gave them money, if they would buy us a belly button piercing kit.
Where would you even buy one of those?
like the Silver Loft in the mall, the kiosk.
Oh, okay. Love.
I don't think they sell those anymore.
Probably a good thing.
Yeah, there's probably a law against that now. I don't know. So a random group of 18-year-old men just went and bought that for me when I was in 7th grade.
You were hot in 7th grade. I don't blame them.
Yeah, it wasn't that hard to convince them either. So I just got the kit, and then the girl from 9th grade was like, okay, let's go outside. So we went to the construction area of, I think they were building California Pizza Kitchen at the time.
Oh.
Wow.
And so we went, and it was like just a construction zone. But they weren't working, so no one was in that area. And I just like pulled up my shirt and laid down, and she just pierced it outside the mall parking lot.
Were you scared?
Yeah, but I was more so excited to get the piercing that I like didn't care. Like I was so scared.
So worth it because it's gonna be so freaking hot.
Then my friend was supposed to do it too, but she chickened out after seeing me do it.
Just blood gushing.
Yeah, I was pissed. And then afterwards, we were walking around the mall. I was so lightheaded, and I ran into Mom.
What?
Yeah, and I remember she gave me a hug, and it hurt so bad because my stomach. And then I was so lightheaded. I was like, yeah, for sure. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna go.
Little did she know what you just did, like in the freaking parking lot. Just shot yourself up with a piercing.
Literally. And then you had to ruin that for me. Thanks so much.
Okay, no. And then my side of the story is I was in elementary school at the time. I was like 5th grade. And someone came to elementary school and was like, your sister pierced her belly button. I was like, you are a liar. My sister would never do that. And so then Mom and Dad picked me up from school, and I was like, these kids at school were spreading lies about Kinsey and just saying that she pierced her belly button. She would never. And then my mom was like, wait, what did they say? And I was like, yeah, can you believe that? And then Mom and Dad were like, okay, she definitely pierced her belly button.
Lifts up your shirt.
And then they're like, Kinsey, lift up your shirt. And she's like, no. And she's like, no, show me your belly button, lift up your shirt. And then I remember you being in Mom and Dad's room for hours, just
getting screamed at.
Yeah, getting screamed at.
Yeah, and Mom wouldn't let you see the belly button ring in the trash.
Yeah, I remember. I was like, let me see it. Let me see the evidence.
I know.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Do you remember my fake emo phase where I was going to shows with you downtown Provo, just like thinking I was so cool because I had such a crush on.
Have you told the story of you tripping yet?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, so sad.
Yes,
but that really bonded us. Like the preppy girl meets the emo sister, and that really brought us together.
Yeah, I really needed that. You to come into my world at the time.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, thanks for sharing.
Yep, love you. Have a good podcast.
Love you. Bye.
Iconic. Also, can I just mention something about thinking you're so hot if you were to wear a tank top? Or
I've never felt that confident since, honestly. If you have a good outfit and like a good spritz of a spray and going to the house party or to the house, your confidence is freaking through the roof.
But there's something about trying to be whatever. You listen to these horny little 7th graders say what they think is hot. Like me and my friend Maddie that we just called, we used to get Victoria's Secret bras, and on the bra they had like a little tag that said this bra gives me cleavage because it was like a push-up bra, and we kept the tag on, and we'd like pull it to the front so it would show like this bra gives me cleavage, and then guys would like read it, and it was so obvious, but like we just thought it was the hottest,
just the biggest try hard phase of your whole entire life.
Yeah. And it's like, how much did these guys pick up on it? Like, oh, oops.
I know, I'm so curious like what the boys take is on. Like we should get Hayden and Brandon on, and they're probably just like, we played video games.
Yeah, Hayden could not care less about girls in high school and junior high.
When was his first kiss?
I don't know. I should ask him.
Let's call him.
Should we call him? Oh yeah, he's definitely at Topgolf. Let me just call him and see if he'll answer. I don't even know this. How do I not know this?
You know. You don't
I feel
know
like I'm gonna be like, oh, but like who?
Hello?
Hi, babe.
Hey, babe.
Who was your first kiss?
Mine?
Yeah.
What do you mean? You?
Ty?
What?
Who was your first kiss, Ty?
Did you really not tell it was me at the start? You
No.
really thought it was Hayden.
You guys sound like the same dumbass, honestly.
Alright. You're up again.
Wait, who's Ty's first kiss?
What was Ty's first kiss?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ask it.
Okay. Who was your first kiss, babe?
Kristen Mella.
That's a good one.
I got attacked.
He got sneak attacked by the dance
No,
company.
those don't count.
Who is the actual kiss that you put effort in to kiss?
Natalie.
Do you remember? Was it awkward or was it good?
It was in Denise's garage, so I guess it was kind of awkward.
Were they watching you?
Did you just like pounce on her like you did on me?
Yeah.
Okay, can you put Ty back on?
Yeah. Here, she wants to talk to you. Hello?
Hi, Ty. Will you tell me
Hi.
the story of your
Hi.
first kiss?
Tell you the story?
Yeah, you're on the podcast.
What do you mean I'm on the podcast?
We're doing a junior high throwback episode, and we're calling people, asking them about their
my
first kiss.
first kiss was Kaylin.
Oh, wait, why? Oh, was she the one who had the...
Stop.
You just reverted back to your 7th grade
You're so
self.
dumb.
But wasn't that a rumor that was spread about her?
No, she was pretty, I don't know who it was, but she was pretty slushy back then, because...
Okay, so tell me the story.
What do you mean the story? We went to her house, and her brother was there. I can't remember her brother was named Connor or something.
Okay.
But we were playing some game. I don't remember what game it was. Probably Truth or Dare or something.
Of course.
But then I was on the tramp in her backyard after that. We went out there and we kissed on her trampoline in the backyard. That was my first kiss.
So how old were you?
It was either 6th grade or 7th grade. I think it was 6th grade.
Do you remember your first makeout?
I mean, I was kind of led to that. So it was both.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, so whatever age that was, like 11, 12.
Oh,
I don't know.
11. All right. Okay, have fun. Bye. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Classic.
I
Boys are
love
so
it.
dumb.
They
Just like,
really are.
I don't know. Just like kissed.
Just like kiss.
Just like put my tongue in her mouth and there
Oh
she
my
blows.
gosh.
Oh my gosh, that was fun. Okay, did we miss any good stuff? I feel like people are gonna be like, how the hell did you not mention this?
No, I feel like it was so good. And then we'll obviously do high school and get all the way into high school stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Call a few more people.
Did you guys ever have any dances in junior high?
Yeah, they're so lame though.
Date dances.
Yeah.
We had a neon paint dance in 8th grade
That's legit.
or 9th grade.
Like in Miss Congeniality.
Yeah, and it was so fun. Like we all wore white and we just splattered, and that was so fun. And I remember that was prime time of Soulja Boy, and we all knew the dance.
It's like, you.
Yeah, and pop, lock, and drop it. But that was exciting. Oh, we get to the age where we can start doing dances and stuff.
Yes.
Did you ever get in super big trouble, get grounded or anything in junior high? Do you remember?
No. Oh, no. High school. That's a high school story.
Okay. Well, this will be a to be continued.
Oh my gosh. Thanks for walking us through memory lane. That was so fun.
I know. How are you feeling? Do you feel cringed out?
I feel so nostalgic right now. And I just want to listen to your whole playlist right now.
Okay, let's do it.
And take more photo booth pictures.
I know. Should we just have a sleepover tonight?
Yes. And just chat.
Just tell the kids mom will be home later.
Yeah.
There will be a to be continued probably in a couple months of high school nostalgia. But if there's anything we missed, let us know. Well, thanks for listening, guys. We hope you enjoyed the trip down memory lane, and we'll talk to you next week.
Yeah. Love ya.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.